Well, now here's a few more details. Again, there was no follow-up article on this, and there was no need to be, because none of this events that are going to take place here were reported. So here's a few more details. It was July. It was a hot July 2003. The days were hot, over 90 degrees, and the nights were cool, around 50 degrees. Now, this is a commercial business in a strip mall type setting in a small town in northwest Montana. With the hair salon, front entrance was facing west in the parking lot. The rooftop units conditioned air for summer and winter. There was natural gas heat. The air conditioning unit was timed out overnight during the summer, and all ventilation was off every night after business hours. The north wall was shared with the grocery store. The bakery was on that wall, and the south wall shared with the retail shop. The east side, or the back of the business, had a lone exit door to a wide service alleyway, and there was a brush and forest setting adjacent to that wide alleyway. The alleyway was used by the grocery store and other businesses for freight and supply deliveries. There were two 100-gallon Category 1 natural gas-fueled water heaters drawing air for combustion from inside the business. Now, inside that airspace of that business, there was over 25,000 cubic feet of air. Makeup and combustion air passed through a louvered door and a wall system into the mechanical room, which was situated right in the center of that salon business space. The water heaters were vented straight up and rain capped to the outside through the roof, each with independent vertical B vents per Gas Appliance Manufacturers Association vent sizing tables. Within a few days, there was more combustion testing of the water heaters by the Natural Gas Company and HVAC Company. The HVAC Company added additional combustion air from the roof via a 10-inch circumference metal air duct that terminated 12 inches from the floor between the two water heaters. Now, this additional air vent was not required by code. The louvered doors met the code, but it was felt that since the water heater was being blamed, despite the numerous tests proving otherwise now, that perhaps it would assist with diagnosing and preventing this carbon monoxide problem. Well, let's do a quick review. Illness by several in a business led to a 911 response call. It was determined to be CO poisoning by the hospital after 16 victims were transported via ambulance and personal vehicles. Now, that information was transferred back to the fire department. The gas water heaters were chosen as the source of the toxic gas. The gas company and an HVACR company performed combustion testing on the two water heaters. The HVACR company installed additional combustion air vent to the mechanical room. The water heaters were tested repeatedly to be safe, and never did they produce sickening levels of CO. They checked late-night freight delivery schedules, and they even checked the bakery ovens at the grocery store next door. There were several UL 2034 high-level carbon monoxide installed, and additionally, a consultant provided two low-level carbon monoxide monitors. Well, the business continued and all seemed to be okay, but 2 weeks to the day later, the owner entered the building before the employees and the customers, and the CO alarms were sounding. They hadn't made a sound for 2 weeks. Well, she called the fire department, and it resulted in an order to remove the 200-gallon gas water heaters. Well, the gas company and HVAC company had tested the units again after this incident, the second time now that the alarms had gone off, and they were not producing carbon monoxide, and just trace amounts. However, the fire department, being the authority of jurisdiction, still ordered the water heaters replaced, and there was no other source for CO that they could see in that building. The HVAC company and the power company, they drained those water heaters, but they filled them back up with cold water. And then they fired them up to see if a cold start could produce carbon monoxide. And it jumped to 40 parts per million of CO being produced in combustion gases. And then it dropped right down to a trace of CO. Could not possibly have set off those carbon monoxide alarms. Well, they replaced the two water heaters that were natural gas, and they put in 100-gallon electric water heaters. Well, that seemed to solve the problem because, again, no CO alarms were going off and business was back to normal. But 2 more weeks to the day, and the alarms are sounding again before opening. The fire department responds, and the response was, we don't know, much to the disappointment of the owner of the business. Now, they had thousands of dollars into this situation. It makes it tough when all of a sudden what you've been working for and you think you've got it solved, and it's a hazardous condition, and you're still looking. The newspaper gave us some information, but 4 weeks go by, and despite the surge in investments, the carbon monoxide ghost keeps getting detected by the CO alarms. No one has included the newspaper in these developments. There's been nothing reported to them, and there's nothing to report to the public. However, testing and more incidences have occurred, and the time has come to test again.